So I just wanted to take a minute or two and address an issue that I saw going on Facebook in Kenya, and I thought it was very interesting and a very important subject. And so there's this picture of two male lions mating in Kenya, and so it's brought up the debate about homosexuality and whether that's natural and all that. And it's there's a lot of people involved in that debate. And so one of the things that I want to point out at first is that what is happening between those two lions is so uncommon, so rare, and so out of the ordinary that we're all getting into this debate in the first place. If that's what lions did, mating male to male, that would be the norm. But this is not the norm, of course. That's why we're having the debate. But the other thing is, we also understand why animals sometimes mate male to male or female to female, things like that. We know why. We know in most cases it's a sign of dominance. We know they do that sometimes to subjugate each other, and we know better as human beings that that's not how we treat each other. We know that's not how we treat sexuality, okay? The other thing is, if we are to look at nature to understand how sexuality works, our entire world will be messed up, because we know some animals, for example, they mate, and once they mate, they kill their mate after after finishing the mating process. And so, if we were looking at animals' standards to know how we ought to behave as human beings, then we would be such a wretched people. We know that, you've seen little dogs, they come to people and they're trying to mate on your leg, or we've seen little dogs mating on your table. That's not how we behave as human beings, and we cannot take that and use that as a justification for human behavior, because we know better. So while we can learn a lot from nature, we're also human beings, and we're able to think through about issues and make better decisions. And the fact that a lion is mating with another male lion, two male lions mating, doesn't make it right, but it shows us that that there's corruption even in the animal kingdom. Okay, so we cannot use the fact that one lion is mating with another lion to point that this is a natural process, because like I said, animals and nature does some weird stuff that we don't do because we're human beings. The other thing that we need to look at is the fact that we are rational. So we're able to think through things and think about the consequences and think about the larger outcomes to what we're doing. Animals don't do that. So when those two lions, when those two lions mated, there was not a discussion in the animal community among other lions about what happened and whether it's wrong or not, because that's not how they're wired. They don't have the mental capacity to discuss and think through about those things. That's why we're human beings and they're animals, okay? And we have higher levels of reasoning and things like that. So just to summarize, just because animals behave in a certain way, just because when a male lion moves into a new territory, it kills the cubs, or the little children from other lions so that they can have dominance. We don't do that as human beings. So there are patterns of nature that we don't follow because we're human beings, even though we can learn a lot from nature. And so two mating lions, both male, doesn't prove anything that homosexuality is right at any level. It just shows that animals are animals and animals behave like animals.